What's good, YouTube? My name is Admin Umbra. For those of you who have not met me or seen my face, why don't you come to our streams? You should definitely come to our streams. But yes, it is so good to be back with you for another official Rock HQ video. And today, people, we are launching a brand new video series. If you've been paying attention to the changes coming to Rock HQ, you know that we've changed the structure of the playlists on the channel. So we used to just have like Rocket Daily, and that's kind of because we used to only do OU battles. But now, between myself expanding into more tiers and having all of the elites and plenty of viewer submissions, Rock HQ is trying to represent all the tiers. So it didn't really seem appropriate to do just Rocket Daily anymore, so the playlists have been broken down into like OU, VGC, whatever meta game you want to watch. Our playlists are organized by that meta, so you can watch whatever meta game you are in the mood to watch. This is also a new playlist being added, team building. So I love team building. I consider myself a team builder. I love doing it. But honestly, you know, the best teams aren't just a one man, one woman, one person job. It's something that a lot of people help and work on together. So what we're going to do is, normally when I team build, I'm in my room and no one sees it, and I just spend hours kind of chilling, jamming out, working on teams. But what we're going to do now is a series where you and I build teams together. So this can be me, this can be Shade, it can be a viewer. Anyone who's a part of Rock HQ is welcome to do this. But the team building playlist is a place for you to, one, improve your team building abilities by seeing how others team build, and two, be a part of a group team building experience. This is absolutely supposed to be interactive. In the comments, I encourage you to comment on what I'm doing, what you like, what you don't. And how the series is going to work is each team will be broken down into 2 episodes. In the first episode, we will make half of the team. So you'll see me like come up with an idea and run with it, and I'll make 3 Pokemon. From there, it's up to you in the comments. Like, have a discussion. Convince me. What is the best thing to run? Did I make a mistake? What should I change? Help me out. So that's where you come in. We're going to build this team together. Your input is important. So please, please, please leave a comment. Leave as many as you want. Help us build the ultimate team. So today's team, the first team in the Team Builder series, is going to be an OU team. And this team is actually going to be dedicated to 2 Rocketeers, Chromie and Taboo Hunter, because for a long time, both of them have been showing me how good Jolteon is. Jolteon obviously is RU, but we're going to use a Jolteon today, and Jolteon is going to be the basis of this team and one of the pokes we actually built today. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is go down and find Jolteon. Let's add Jolteon to our team. Alright, so I want to go ahead and jump right to the EV spread of this Jolteon. So in deciding to use Jolteon, it's important to think, what are the benefits of using this RU Pokemon in an OU setting? Again, this is an OU team. Obviously, it's outclassed, quote-unquote, in every way by Mega Man Electric. One thing that's notable is we still get a Mega slot. So one of the questions really becomes, what does Jolteon handle that would make it a great teammate for a certain Mega? So if you have not seen the viewer submission where I was really infatuated with Jolteon, please check that out. It was Chromie's team, and one of the things we saw from that is Jolteon, especially with Stealth Rock support, is an amazing answer to Mega Pinsir. It resists the priority quick attack, it's faster, Mega Pinsir very weak on the special side, T-Bolt takes it out 100% of the time. So Jolteon, a great answer to Mega Pinsir. Obviously a great answer to things like Greninja as well, but we're focusing on the fact that Jolteon kills Mega Pinsir. So what Mega really benefits from Mega Pinsir being gone? There's 2 that come to my mind especially that I'd like to consider using today. The first is actually one that a lot of you in the comments have asked for and we haven't used yet. Heracross. Obviously Mega Heracross is very, very powerful, but obviously suffers a great deal because Pinsir's priority quick attack can absolutely destroy it. So what we're doing is making a team that helps remove that specific threat, Talonflame and Pinsir, so that Mega Heracross can do some work. So that's going to be the purpose of our team, is using Jolteon to enable Mega Heracross. I will propose to you all, I also have a Mega Pinsir set that works, a Mega Pinsir set that, because we have Jolteon, we don't need to build Pinsir to beat other Pinsirs. We can build him to beat other threats. So I'll show you that Pinsir set as well. And then you all can vote whether you want me to use the Heracross team or the Pinsir team, and we will move forward with the team building process. So first things first, let's make our Jolteon. So when we're going to go to do the EV spread of this Jolteon, we're going to do Timid just because Timid allows us to put less speed IVs in. Yes, EVs in. Yes, I said less. To all of you who haven't, I highly recommend you check out the website Nugget Bridge. Since starting VGC, Nugget Bridge has been amazing for me. It's also increased my singles game and my singles attitude. And one of the things I'm learning a lot about is in singles, sometimes we have this idea that it's best to just dump the 252 into something and into something else. And a lot of times it's not the case. And in VGC, it's pivotal. It's incredibly important not to waste EVs. And honestly, I think there's no reason we can't adopt that to become better OU, Ubers, or any tier players. So for example, Jolteon. When we go to add a Pokemon here, let's look at the threats in OU. So let's look at what Jolteon's going to need to outspeed. What things here will Jolteon need speed to deal with? Obviously, Charizard Y. We're going to want to be able to outspeed Charizard Y with the base 100. Deoxys is not going to be an issue. It's slower. Deoxys speed we're not going to outspeed because we're not choiced. Espeon is base 110. Okay, but the big one that you all can think of, the two fastest mon in the tier, excluding Deoxys speed, are going to be 1, Mega Manectric, who we're not going to outspeed because it's faster than us. But the other one is Greninja. We obviously want our Jolteon to be able to outspeed Greninja. And Jolteon has base 130 speed. Greninja has base 22. That means we will not need all 252 EVs to be faster than Greninja. So, if you go to a Pokemon calculator here, and we set our levels to 50, let's do Jolteon. Jolteon, usage. Set our level to 50, and we pull up Greninja. Greninja obviously had that base 122. We just want to make sure that we're faster than Greninja. That way we'll gain a bunch of extra EVs we can actually put somewhere more useful. So, looking at our speed, you see with max speed, we are at 200, and this Greninja is at 191. So what we can do, let's see, they're both timid, they're both at level 50. Let's slowly back this down. So let's, go to like 240, still faster, 230, still faster, 220, still faster, so slowly now, 218, still faster, 215, still faster, 210, still faster, 208, still faster, 205, still faster, 203. Okay, there we go. So 202. Let's go 201. Okay, what about 2? What about 199? What about 198? What about 197? 96? 95. Okay, so 196 is as low as we can go and guarantee outspeed Greninja. What does that mean? That means if we go back to our showdown, we go here to Jolteon, and we put, we're timid, and we put 196. We want max special attack. We see we have 60. We just gained 60 EVs. With those 60 EVs, we were not going to outspeed anything. There would be some select few Scarfers we might outspeed, but overall, we gained nothing from those 60 EVs. They're much better served going into our health. So look at all that bulk that we just gained for free that most people will not expect on a Jolteon. And maybe we can take some players by surprise because they won't expect us to have this extra bulk that we just gained. So now let's figure out what this Jolteon needs to be able to beat. Obviously looking at the pokes in the tier that we want this thing to be able to pop. We're definitely know that we're going to have Thunderbolt and HP Ice. So let's see what threats this Jolteon can deal with those two moves and what it needs to handle the threats we want it to. So let's go back to the Mon in the tier. Charizard Y. So let's pull up our damage calculator real quick. Go to Charizard Y. And let's see what we do to this thing. At level 50, how much does a T-Bolt do? Okay, good. That's good to know. So T-Bolt is a guaranteed OHKO at this range. Almost all Charizard we encounter will be this spread, so that's very good to know. We do obviously have some left over, so we could consider that Charizard's not a boosting Mon. Are there any other things that we definitely need this thing to take out? I would say Espeon if you were wanting Shadow Ball, but we are not. What about Garchomp? That'll be a little harder one to get the KO on. Do we OHKO Garchomp at level 50 with Hidden Power Ice? We do. Still some left over, you're seeing. So maybe we don't need all this 252. Exojo we probably will not be able to handle. I'm going to go ahead and check it real quick just to see. That's not Exojo at all. I highly doubt we'll be able to handle this thing as well, though, because Hidden Power Ice is neutral. Yeah, it does virtually nothing to it, but we don't want this thing to stay on X control anyway. So what other threats do we want this thing to hit? Let's see. Obviously, they have Shadow Ball preloaded. Could it take out a Gengar? Let's see how much it does to Gengar. Shadow Ball would take out a Gengar. Obviously, we would outspeed with this investment. However, notice that T-Ball does 95%. So this team definitely wants rock support. I argue here that Shadow Ball doesn't really gain us anything. We have another free moveset that we can utilize. And I've got something in mind for you I think you all will enjoy. Gliscor, I can already tell that we're going to take out if we can take out Garchomp. Keldeo will definitely take out. That's a good question, Landorus. I don't know if we'll land a KO on Landorus. Let's see. Obviously, we'd like Jolteon to be able to handle Landorus, that we can confirm or not choiced. HP Ice does do a lot, assuming this thing. Let's see, that's the human Landorus. Let's do Therian. Let's see. Assuming it's not a bulkier variant, HP Ice still does a lot. What about max HP? If it is defensive, still should OHKO, so that's good to know. Maybe we could even take some EVs out of our special attack, because everything we want to hit really hard, we're doing a lot of damage to. Here's the big one, though. Let's make sure this one real quick. Mega Pinsir. We definitely need to be able to take out Mega Pinsers. Let's see. So standard Mega Pinsir, we destroy. Now, in case the spray that we use a lot gets more popular, that's excellent. So we can take out even bulky Mega Pinsers. That's this thing's primary responsibility. Are there any other threats in the OU tier that we desperately want to be able to take out? Talonflame, let's see how much Talonflame actually does to us. Obviously, we do resist Brave Bird. It's still quite the hit. And let's actually check this. Let's update this with our spread here, since we want to see how much we can take. So we'll put 50 in. So you can see Brave Bird, if we take these EVs away, let's see, Brave Bird doing virtually the same. That's only a few HP points that we're able to gain, but that could still be a huge differential. Thunderbolt obliterates this thing 100%. That's excellent news. Maybe we can take some EVs out of special attack, because we don't necessarily want this thing hitting things that it's neutral to. We could even want Expert Belt on this Jolteon. So that's good news. What if we back down our special attack? I'm just going to bump this up to see how much we need to be able to live a 2-hit KO, for example. It would take a great deal. So we're probably not going to be able to get down to a 2-hit KO from Brave Bird. But obviously, if we're running a Life Orb on this Jolteon, every damage, every single bit of HP counts. So that's good to know that we do have a little added bulk for Talonflames. Anything else that we desperately need to be able to kill? Thunderous, we probably cannot do very much to at all. We're definitely not going to want a choice variant, so we're not afraid of being locked into an item. HP Ice, okay, that's because it's at level 100. Let's see. HP Ice does, okay, so we do outdamage them, which is obviously good. They have to rely on the very inaccurate Focus Blast. Even then we outdamage them, that's important. We will outspeed. Let's see, any other threats in the tier that we need to be super concerned about? I don't know if I really want this thing staying on a Togekiss, but it's worth doing the damage calc. Let us see real quick what this can do to a Togekiss. That's especially defensive. I doubt very much, to be honest. T-Ball actually does quite a bit of damage. That's one of the only things I'd want to keep all our special attack investment. Alright, so summary of Jolteon spread. We have enough EVs to outspeed Greninja, which is our primary concern. We will always outspeed Greninja. The rest can go into HP. We're either going to run a Life Orb or an Expert Belt. Leave in the comments which item you think would be better on this Jolteon. For this set, we're really not trying to hit things that aren't affected by this coverage right here. Electric and Ice, again, an excellent form of coverage. So I am very, very comfortable if we want to leave Life Orb on this, but we could also do Expert Belt. Here's Expert Belt for those of you who have not seen it. Notice the damage is slightly less, 1.2 versus 1.3 from the Life Orb. We can also go over here and perhaps lower Jolteon's special attack a little bit, because obviously it overkills most of those threats. So I think off camera I will play with this a little bit in damage calcs to lower it, but let me know what you all think of that as well. Okay, now we get to the fun part. I'm going to go ahead and make this Expert Belt for now. Although I could keep it Life Orb. I'll keep it Life Orb for now. Let's get to the fun part. Let's get to attacks. So, Jolteon could easily serve as a lead. It's very fast. It has Volt. It has access to Volt Switch, which is pivotal. But here's what I'm proposing. since we're using Mega Heracross, to be good in singles and to be good in any format really needs forms of speed control, of which Jolteon gets a few. It does get access to T-Wave, but lots of things get access to Thunder Wave. Is there really a need to waste Thunder Wave on Jolteon when it could get something that, for example, Mons in our defensive core could have T-Wave. So does Jolteon get any speed control that those Mons might not have? Here's an interesting idea. What if we won Agility on our Jolteon? And what if we won Baton Pass? So we still preserve our ability to scout, our ability to keep initiative by going for Baton Pass. We're no longer stopped by things with Volt Absorb. And while we lose the damage of Volt Absorb, or excuse me, of Volt Switch, we now get the ability to Baton Pass and Agility into this Heracross. So now we have one form of speed control on this team. So we have our stats here exactly, and unfortunately this thing can't get Electro Ball, otherwise I might suggest it. We've got our two most important stab moves. I'd argue that Shadow Ball isn't that important, mainly because the biggest thing you'd use it for is Gengar, who with rocks we can still KO, assuming we keep our special attack spread. But now we gain Agility and Baton Pass. So now we can engineer a team that either helps Mega Heracross, and a team that hopefully benefits from this Baton Pass, Jolteon, and OU, which I doubt our opponents will see coming. So that's the idea behind this team. That's where we're headed. Let me know what you think of this idea in the comments. Let me know how we as a team can make it better. So, Mega Heracross. Now we need to figure out how much speed this thing is going to need to outspeed things. So we can count on this thing having doubled speed. So all we need to do is figure out how much speed this thing needs to outspeed Mons with +2. So obviously, going back to our calculator, Mega Manectric is going to be pretty much the fastest thing that this is going to encounter. We're not going to plan on outspeeding Deoxys. Obviously, we are weak to Deoxys attacks, so we do need something that can switch into the occasional Deoxys speed with Psycho Boost. So let's go into Manectric. This isn't VGC. I don't want normal Manectric. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Normal Manectric is amazing in VGC. Mega Manectric, and let's set you to level 50. All right, and now let's bring out our Mega Heracross. So, let's see, where's my pen? I've got my calculator out now. I'm going to do some math. Let's see. So, all of the Manectric we want into will probably be this exact spread. So their speed is at 205, which means that you're not level 100, buddy. I was like, how do you outspeed Manectric already? You're level 50, buddy. I'm sorry. Which means our speed only needs to be higher than 205 when it's doubled. So we do not need all these EVs going into speed. We can easily save plenty of them and put them into bulk, which our Mega Heracross will greatly benefit from. So, sorry, I'm pulling my calculator up on my phone right now. All right, so already we see 104. Obviously, 104 times 2 is greater than 205. Let's see, do it for you. 104 times 2. See, that puts us at 208. So we need to be at, let's round this down. So we need to be at 1 above 205 to guarantee outspeed. So we need to be at 206, which means we need to have 103. So with Jolly at level 50, Mega Heracross, Mega Manectric, we would need very few speed IVs, it looks like. Let's go ahead and change to Adamant, just because that's the highest attack stat. So this puts us at 95. So we could put, let's try 50. 50 puts us at 101. Let's try 60. That's 103. Can we go lower than that? 58? Nope. So 60. So we put in 60 EVs right there. And now we're guaranteed, because again, 103 times 2 from the agility will put us at 206. We will outspeed Mega Manectric. So now what we need to know is what can this thing do to a Mega Manectric? Obviously, we're going to be at -1 from most Mega Manectrics. Let's see what our base damage is if we're at just neutral. Close combat will OHKO. We don't want Mega Horn. We're going to want Pin Missile on this thing. Let's go ahead and put Pin Missile. Let's see how much that does. Close combat does outdamage Arm Thrust, by the way. Okay, so without the Intimidate, all enough to kill. So that means we could come in on a Manectric and OHKO it. The question is, if a Manectric switches into us, what will happen? So if we're at -1, can we 2-hit KO? we have guaranteed 2-hit KOs. Obviously, we wouldn't want to go for close combat because then Manectric would be able to fire back. But we could 2-hit KO if we went for a pin missile. We now also have the option if you want to do Earthquake, Knockoff, but these two moves are set in stone. Let's go ahead and add those to our moveset. We have Pin Missile, and we have Close Combat, which again out damages Arm Thrust. So let's go to our spread, put in Adamant, and put in 60. Obviously, we now outspeed the biggest thing in the tier. So now the question is, what does Jolteon not hit with its Ice Electric coverage that we need Mega Heracross to? That's going to determine what our last two slots are for coverage. Slash what threatens Jolteon out that it can't kill with HP Ice. So we're going to go through the tier again, look at all the mons no you, and figure out what we need. Now just looking at this spread right here, if we pull up our showdown again, we figure we put max attack in. Again, maybe we can lower this. We'll have to see. Look how high this attack stat is. We have to see if we actually need all of our attack EVs. But if we put that, look how many EVs that freed up by doing that exact calc. We don't need max speed because we've calculated exactly how many EVs we need. We now have almost 200 extra EVs that can go into HP. Let's go back to our calculator real quick and see how much of a difference that makes. So now you can see that Mega Manectric's Flamethrower can't even, doesn't even OHKO us because of how bulky this thing is. Base special defense of 125, or excuse me, of 105. That's absolutely phenomenal. Again, if you go back, you can see how much it does, and now you add the extra 196. So that's fantastic. We just gained tremendous. Oh, sorry, that's too much. We just gained tremendous bulk. Just by doing that, just by calculating out exactly how many EVs we need. I highly recommend you all adopt this practice of calculating out exactly how many EVs you need because you can free up a lot of EVs that your opponents will not expect you to have. People doing damage calcs against us won't be entering 196. They won't have time to. They won't think to do it. So we'll really take them by surprise when they think they can kill us, and they can't because we're not wasting EVs. So let's go back to our showdown. Oh, excuse me. Go back to our showdown. And let's pull up some pokes that we need to be able to take out. Okay, so Aegislash is going to be a big one. Let's go right to Aegislash off the bat. Obviously, you saw that we do want Shield Form, and we do want level 50. You saw that this thing came suggesting Knockoff already. So Knockoff will do 67 to 80% to Aegislash in Shield Form. How much does Earthquake do out of curiosity? Let's see if the Earthquake coverage is worth it. Earthquake really does the same general ballpark. So based on that, we kind of want to have one or the other. Let's see how much Aegislash Blade can do to us at level 50 as well. So this is obviously a physical variant. Okay, let's see, which variant are you? We want Quiet, max special attack. Okay, Flash Cannon we can obviously eat up, but Shadow Ball, let's see how much Shadow Ball will do. So not even a guarantee to a KO because of this extra HP investment. That's very, very good to know. Okay, so we're definitely going to need either Earthquake or Knockoff. Or the Shadow Sneak together, okay, you're looking at around 70%. That's good to know if we have to take 2 attacks. Because obviously we have no priority of our own. If we got Rocks up, let's see how much it would do to a normal Aegislash. Because our team will definitely be wanting Stealth Rock, Stealth Jolteon, get some KOs. At level 50, you can see that Earthquake still... Okay, yeah, still guaranteed to a KO. It was definitely above that before. Alright, so let's see what other threats that we might need. So Aegislash, Azumarill. Obviously, we can probably eat up Aqua Jets. Let's see how much we do to Azumarill. Azumarill, level 50. Ooh, playoff is going to be a huge problem. Obviously, we can take an Aqua Jet very, very well. Is this Choice Band? This is Citrus Berry. How much can we do to Choice Band? Worst case scenario. Can I get Choice Band? Can I get Choice Band, please? Where are you, Band? Oh, it's up here. Where is it? There it is. I don't know why I couldn't see it. Playoff obviously takes us out. Do we have anything that can hit that thing? Not really. Let's look at what moves Heracross even gets here. Let's see if anything strikes our fancy. Okay, Aerial Ace, that's interesting, but very, very low. Bullet Seed obviously could be a useful option. Let's see how much Bullet Seed does to Azumarill, actually. Obviously, Rotom, another threat we want to be able to take out. Let's see how much Bullet Seed will do. Oops. Bullet Seed. Bullet Seed will be over a guaranteed OKO on this Azumarill. Now let's see. I always like to check my own sets to see from my own knowledge. So again, if you won the set that I've used before, you can see how far that bulk goes. Even without attack investment here, you'll see. Azumarill can still do absolute work to Mega Heracross, let alone our bulky Heracross. If we didn't have this bulk, I guarantee this would kill us. That's why I won the bulky Azumarill, because it would survive this Bullet Seed with much better probability. Alright, so that's good to know. Let's see Rotom Wash now, another huge threat. Whoa! Calm down, I don't want to print. Calm down. Computer. Rotom Wash. Let's see how much we can do to this thing. Bullet Seed, again overkill, so that's excellent. It looks like Bullet Seed will probably make its way onto our actual move slot, which leaves one thing remaining. Let's see what other threats are going to be able to take out that Jolteon can't. Bisharp we can take out with close combat. Breloom, okay, that could be a problem for this team. Chansey we obviously destroy. Charizard we will outspeed. We do have Jolteon for Charizard, so we don't necessarily need it. Jolteon obviously can't touch Conquador. Let's see what we can do to a Conquador. Slash what it can do to us. That's a very, very good question. Let's see. So if we put this at 50... we don't want to go for close combats, unfortunately, because that will 2-hit KO us. But Bullet Seed is actually guaranteed 2-hit KO, which we could definitely go for. He has really nothing to hit us with. It looks like if we went for Bullet Seed and then a close combat afterwards would be our best option. And I'm assuming Earthquake wouldn't do as much as either of those. So let's try that. Let's go down here for Earthquake. Because obviously Jolteon will not be able to handle Conkeldurr. And all these pokes are pokes for you to think about in the comments. What are our answers going to be? Okay, so Bullet Seed's still a good coverage move, it looks like. Anything else in the tier we want to be able to hit that we already can't? Dragonite. Jolteon can't really OHKO a Dragonite. Let's actually do a calc in terms of with rocks up real quick. I want to know how much Jolteon can do. Let's see. With rocks up. So Jolteon, Dragonite with Marvel Skill broken. HPI still does not do a lot. Let's do a KO, and obviously Dragonite can take us out very, very effectively. So we might need something for Dragonite. I'm curious if Rock Blast is worth it. We lose our coverage on Aegislash. So let's see what Rock Blast would even do. Obviously, let's see. Rock Blast, what will you do, actually? Dragonite. Rock Blast does do a number, and with rocks, how much does it do? Let's see. Okay. And what can he do to us? Not a lot because of our investment. That's good to know. We can take at least one Outrage. If he's locked in that, obviously couldn't go for Extreme Speed next turn. Fire Punch we could still eat up because of our bulk. Okay. So honestly, I'm thinking Rock Blast is something we probably shouldn't be carrying. To me, it looks probably much more favorable to run. And these things are all threats that Jolteon takes out. Jolteon takes you out. It doesn't handle Gardevoir, but I'm guessing Pin Missile destroys Gardevoir. Gyarados we should be able to handle. Heatran we should be able to handle. Let's do that calc though on a bulky Heatran. I want to be sure that close combat takes that thing out. I have a very good feeling it would though. If this thing is max HP, close combat, yep, overkill. So we've seen no close kills yet with Heracross. The only close calc was being able to 2-hit KO the Conkeldurr. Mamoswine could be a different story, although honestly, it's still super effective. Let's see on the Mamoswine. Level 50. Absolutely obliterates it. Ice Shard does virtually nothing to us. Heracross definitely looking like a powerhouse. It takes out a lot of these threats. A lot of these threats are taken out. Okay, so what are some things that these two can't really handle? It looks like a fire Pokemon or something with good fire coverage might be necessary. I'm going to go through and let's look at some things that these two handle. Because right now this is our offensive core. So assuming we want Earthquake or Knockoff, we can handle this. Both can handle this. Heracross eats that up all day. We're a little weak to Breloom. Let's do some calcs. Let's see. We kind of are a little weak to Breloom. Charizard, Jolteon handles. Chansey, you do. Clefable, we can't get through Clefable. Okay, so these just I'm going to take some notes here on the side. People, be a good student. So let's see. Right now we've got Oh, my lid broke! My lid broke! I don't want to write in Sharpie. It's going to smell terrible. Let's give me this pen here. So right now, things we can't hit. We can't hit Breloom. We can't hit Clefable. Conk can be a problem, but we can manage it. Deoxys we hit. Dragonite we hit, but we could appreciate more things. Let's see. Pharaoh we can't really touch. Let's see how much Earthquake does do to Ferrothorn. Of course, if Ferrothorn has T-Wave, we're not going to want to stay in on it. Let's go to Ferrothorn. Defensive, cool, level 50. I definitely want to see how much Earthquake will do. Let us know in the comments, do you think Earthquake or Knockoff is better for Mega Heracross? And why? So, wow, we really can't... Oh, wow, but we do a lot with close combat. That's good to know. So, Pharaoh is not really something we deal with. If rocks are up... What if rocks are up? Yeah, okay, yeah, we definitely... Nope, that's fine. We definitely don't need an answer for Pharaoh, although it would be nice. It looks like things like Skarmory are going to be the problem. Let's see. Gardevoir, we handle. Gengar, we handle with rocks. Greninja, we handle. Gyarados, we handle. You, we handle. You, we handle. Landorus, we handle. Latios, we can't really... Well, actually, let's see if Latios can kill us. Because we will kill it, and we will outspeed. By a lot, actually. We'll definitely outspeed. They can only kill us if they went for the Psyshock, even though not a great chance. And Pin Missile, look at this damage! Mega Hera, with speed control, this team could be powerful. I'm excited to work on this team with all of you. Let's go back to Showdown. Not a lot that Mega Hera stopped by. We might want to use something with Defiant. Intimidators obviously are a problem for Mega Hera. Pinsir we have Jolteon for. Medicham we do have Pin Missile for, which I'm guessing will still kill. Mawile could be a problem. Let's see how much we can do to a Mega Mawile with Earthquake. Not a lot. That's because it's a level 100. Silly Noodle Umbra. Earthquake actually does a lot of work to that. But at -1 would it be 2k? It would be, but Play Rough does take us out. Okay, so right now I feel like Earthquake is a better coverage move, but let me know what you all are thinking. We don't need it for Magnetric, remember, Pin Missile is a 2-hit KO. We take all these out. Okay, things like Skarmory, Skarmory and Scizor, for example, I'm concerned about. Obviously, we don't see Skarmory as much in OU. Brave Bird will kill us, though, because we are quad weak, so we're definitely going to need an answer to this. We can't really touch Skarmory. Skarmory is going to be the huge one. So right now I've got Breloom, kind of. Although let's go ahead and calc Breloom, because Breloom is very frail. I want to see how much Breloom actually takes from us. Let's see. Okay, so I'm not... Yeah, we don't really... Never mind. It's so frail that it gets obliterated. We just need something that can handle the Spore. So, right now I've got Clefable. Let's check Clefable. I mean, like... Obviously we can't live a hit from it, but can it from us? Yes, it can. Very, very easily. So, Fairy types and Steel types are looking like a problem, which makes me begin to suspect Heatran already. Maybe we could run Heatran. We've got a great answer to other Heatran in the form of our Mega Heracross. Sylveon. Also a decent answer to Talonflame. Let's see. We've got an answer for Drakion. We have an answer for a lot of stuff. Honestly, it looks like really the only things this offensive core struggles with. Zapdos a little bit too. But what do we do to a Zapdos as Heracross? What is a Zapdos to a Mega Heracross? Let's be honest. We don't have Rock Blast, remember. We're deciding Earthquake is better coverage. Okay, we really can't touch Zapdos either. Obviously not as common. Let's see real quick. No, especially if it's specially defensive. That is max defense. Specially defensive is a little more common in my experience. How much does this do? Okay, so Zapdos, Skarmory, Clefable are kind of some things that give this team trouble. Right off the bat, that does make me think of Heatran. So let me all know, do you think Heatran would be a good member for this team? Let's pull up Heatran right now and actually look at Heatran. What is Heatran's base speed? Its base speed is 77. So it is slower than a lot of things, including, I'm almost sure it's slower than Zapdos, right? Zapdos's speed be at 100. Okay. So we could run Heatran, and this could be our offensive core right here. Obviously, this gives us another thing that threatens out Heracross, or Mega excuse me, Mega Pinsir, assuming that we were Scarfed Heatran. The question is, do we want to run a Scarf Heatran on this team? Do we want this to be our offensive core? Because we could use, let's see, we could use a defensive Heatran. Notably, this gives us a weakness to Earthquake. Although Hera does resist it, we do have a weakness to Earthquake. We're definitely going to want a bulky Water in our defensive core, or something that can at least take Earthquakes very, very well. This does also give us 2 answers to Talonflame instead of just 1. I'm kind of liking Heatran. What moves does this thing get that would be useful to us offensively? Obviously, if we want a bulky one, the problem is that we probably will lose out on coverage from like Flash Cannon, for example. This thing does get Dragon Pulse, which is interesting. Hidden Powers could always be fun. We could play with that a little bit. Let's see what interesting moves this thing gets. We could also want a Choice Scarf set with some utility. I don't think we really need to run Rock Slide. I've seen that on Choice Scarf special, purely to deal with Charizard Y. But we could always want Ancient Power. Not as useful because we're a choice set. Explosion could be interesting. Let's see. What all does this thing get? Natural Gift. We want to want a Scarf, so it's not really that viable. We could run Eruption, to be honest. Dark Pulse. Does that really give us anything super useful? It does hit Deoxys, who our team is a little bit weak to right now. Mega Hera will get popped by it, and Jolteon's not bulky enough to take anything. But honestly, Flash Cannon, I'm definitely thinking a Flamethrower, just a simple fire stab move. Now here's the thing, we could always be baton passing speed into this Heracross, into this Heatran, so is it worth it to want a Choice Scarf set, is sort of the question. Because I'd like to want other methods of speed control in this team, i.e. T-Wave or Tailwind somewhere in the defensive core would be ideal. So here's the question I have for you all. We could want a Heatran to complete our offensive core, or we could run a support mon, like a lead. So this is going to be the offensive portion of our team. Do we want Heatran on the offensive portion of our team? Or would we rather have something like Klefki? With Prankster T-Wave access, Klefki is exceptionally helpful for Mega Heracross. It can slow things down. Again, T-Wave, the same effect Agility would have, giving it a +2 because our opponent is slowed by 2. So the same calcs we ran for speed apply to T-Wave as they do Agility, as they do for Tailwind. So I would definitely like to see T-Wave and Tailwind on this team. The question to you all is, do you want to run a Choice Scarfed Heatran on a team that's going to have a lot of speed control? Would you rather run something like Choice Specs? Notably, all of those threats do not really scare us. For example, Zapdos isn't going to do that much to us. They're also all slower than us. So we could also run a Choice Specs offensive Heatran. I do think I'd like to see Klefki on this team. But again, that increases our weakness to ground. Earth. This is an Avatar. Although it could be. Avatar is fantastic. So let me know what you all are thinking. I do like this as an offensive core. The question here is, do we want a Choice Scarfed Heatran? Or do we want a Choice Specs Heatran? Notably, the mons that we said these two pokes couldn't KO were not weak. Were not faster than Heatran, i.e. Clefable, Skarmory, Zapdos. We could also be doing massive damage if we are Specs. So maybe it's worth it to want a Choice Specs Heatran. That's kind of what my eye is on right now, to be totally honest. We could also, run Stealth Rocks on this mon. We could have other Stealth Rockers and just have multiple ways to put up rocks. Obviously, we have Hidden Power access as well. We could run something pretty interesting on this Heatran. So let me know what you all are thinking down below in the comments, what you want to see. Do you want us to want a Choice Specs Heatran? Do you want us to want a Choice Scarf Heatran? And do you want Heatran at all? I'd really like to see Klefki on this team. That's how you spell Klefki. I'd really like to see Klefki on this team. I would suggest Thunderous, but we want a defensive core as well, and notably Klefki gets Prankster T-Wave, which will greatly help Heracross out. We don't need the one Klefki. I think it's a great idea for the Prankster T-Waves. We can even save it for Deathbot or come in and get a T-Wave off. So honestly, I really enjoy. I like the idea of Klefki a lot on this team, but we definitely need T-Wave, and we definitely maybe need Tailwind. But I think we need at least 2 other methods of speed control on this team. But right now, this is the offensive core I'm looking at. If this is our offensive core, if we're wanting 3 offensive mons and not a lead, notice that we don't have taunt. You can't get taunt, can you? You can. Ooh, we could be really cheeky and want taunt on a choice specs user. We could be super cheeky and do that. Let me know what you're thinking, what moves you want to see on this Heatran. We could put rocks on here and not have to run rocks on our defensive core. Let me know what you think of these 3 mons, what you think of the idea of this speed control Mega Heracross team, and let me know what mons you want in this last 3 slot. We have 3 mons remaining, and this is where you come in. This is all about team building together. So what's wrong with the offensive core I've built? What needs to be changed? Help me out. What suggestions? What should I do? We'll go ahead and put Earthquake on here. What moves, what spread should I use on this Heatran? And what should the rest of these mons be? Obviously, we need hazard removal, we need hazards, and we need a form of speed control. So we need rocks, we need defog, and we need T-Wave. Suggest some mons to go on this team in the defensive core, and we'll come back next week to finish this team. So this is the team thus far in review. We have our Jolteon, which could be a lead. Right now it's the fastest thing we have, and it probably would be our lead, which could be bad because we would reveal Baton Pass very early if we switched for initiative. But we do have our Jolteon with Agility and Baton Pass that allows it to switch into other members of the team. EV Split allows it to outspeed Greninja. The rest goes into bulk, so we could run a Life Orb if we want to. T-Bolt, Hidden Power Ice, excellent coverage. Heracross, the speed IVs make it faster than Mega Magnetric with +2, or if our opponent has -2. So Tailwind, Agility, Baton Pass, and T-Wave all allow this thing to just go insane. We have Pin Missile, Close Combat, Bullet Seed, Earthquake, Max Attack. These look like our best coverage option. Earthquake being a little shaky, we debated knockoff, but I think this is what we're going with. Here we have our Heatran to deal with the mons that these 2 don't deal with. I don't really want to run it in the defensive core. I think it could be cool as an offensive presence. We could want to choice Scarf, but if we're running, I'd really like to see Tailwind on this team, and I definitely want a T-Wave. I'm running for Klefki, but let me know what you all want to see. We could actually run choice specs to surprise people and do some massive damage, especially if we Baton Pass into this Heatran. We could also do stuff like Air Balloon, but I think choice specs might be really cool. We're definitely going to need something to resist ground, though. So that is the team thus far. Again, Rocketeers, this is where you come in. Let me know in the comments, let me know in the comments what I need to add, what mons you want to see on this team, and tell me why. Let's make the best team we can possibly make together, and if we like this team, it could even end up on the channel. So if you're new to team building, if you're old to team building and you want to improve, I hope this video showed you some of my insights, helped you get a little better at team building, and now help me get better at team building. Show me what I can do better. I suggest what mons we can use on this team. So this concludes the first episode of team building. This is Admin Umbra signing off. I will be back within either a week or a few days to work on this team some more based on your suggestions in the comments, but I will be back sooner if there's more comments. So definitely be sure you fill out those comments so I have lots of things to think about. We can make this team better. If you like this video, please hit the like button. It really helps Rocket HQ out. If we hit the like goal of 30 likes on this video, then you'll get 2 videos today instead of just your normal 1 Rocket Daily video. So if you want more Rocket HQ content, definitely be sure you hit that like button. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy this team and what you think we should do next. This is Admin Umbra signing off.